Hi my scrappy friends, and welcome to my channel once again today. This is my fourth and final share for Anna's craft cupboard with the beautiful Pink Fresh Studio Let's Stay Home collection, and I am scrapbooking this photo of myself and my children. It's quite hard to see my kids in this, but on the right at the end of that path that you can see in the photo, my kids are there. So yeah, that's what I'm scrapbooking today. You can see I've come up with a bit of a page design already and a title. Now for this one, I have kind of been hoarding this pattern paper because I love it. I really love it so much. So I'm like, yes, I'm using that as a background. And like I said, I had a bit of a page idea in mind. I've gone in with my sewing machine and some white thread, and I've added some stitching in behind where my bits are going, and I have got 6x6 paper pad again, and I'm working on a couple of layers behind my photo. You can see I am fussy cutting this little scallop border, which I do not make you watch all of because it is not that interesting. But I do cut that scallop out. There we go, all done. Just as a little bit of an interesting detail, I'm going to chop off the white here as well and chop this down a tiny bit more. Yep, that's what I want. Nope, that's not what I want. Chop a bit more off. Yep, that's what I want. Okay, so then I'm going to come in with this darker blue, which I really love. This blue in this collection is gorgeous. And again, I'm just going to trim that down. Got a couple of messy layers behind my photo here. I'm like, that is so not straight. I'm going to trim it down. For this one, I decided I wasn't going to do a ton of mixed media. Hence, you can see I've started with that stitching and not a great deal much else in the background yet. I do muck around a little bit here with what I'm going to do behind my photo because I did want to add a bit more interest. I try a couple of different papers from the 6x6 papers. First I tried that green, which I was like, nope. Then I was like, ooh, what yellow can I find? If you've been watching the rest of my videos, you may be aware that I'm slightly obsessed with this yellow in this collection at the moment. So I do try that, but I'm like, nope, that's not working for me either. I try the white with the love hearts. I'm like, nope, that's not working. What am I going to do? Then I found this pink cardstock that I had used on the second layout I created with the big photo. I'm like, oh, I really like that. That's working for me. I like that. How can I make it work? So you can see I'm just playing with my layers here. I'm like, maybe that'll work. Maybe I can do this. I'm like, I'm just going to tear it. Try it that way, and then I'm like, yeah, don't love it. Turn it this way. I'm like, oh, I like that better. And then I'm like, okay, how can I make this work? Oh, I can tuck it in like this. And this is kind of almost exactly what I end up with. But I really like that little bit of the pink cardstock poking out there. It's, yeah, just a fun little detail that I think just adds nicely to my layers. Distressing all of the edges again because I've got to add a bit of texture and interest, right? On my little scallop border, I'm just kind of bending it up and distressing it with my fingers a little bit. Distressing the edges of this one as well. Right, I'm going to start sticking all my bits together. I'm going to pop my photo up firstly. And is this where I run out of tape? I don't know. I ran out of tape on one of the videos I was creating, and I was like, meh, so I just used glue for everything. Yeah, it was here. So I ran out of tape. I'm like, meh, I can't bother fixing that right now. I'm just going to build up my layers behind my photo. See, I ran out of tape. We'll use the glue because that sticks things together as well. All right. So I've got my title all worked out. I know exactly what I want to do. I have a fairly good idea how I want it to sit. I have trimmed some of the white border off that Slow Days, so that's from the ephemera pack. And there was just too much white. So you can see I have rebuilt what I had there. I've got those little houses, and I used the houses because this is in our local neighbourhood, and I thought, you know what, when else am I going to use them? So they made it onto this page. So I've got my title is Slow Days and Long Walks, and I really wanted to incorporate that Annabelle piece. It says Time Together, because this was during lockdown. We if you don't know, we've been very, very lucky here in Perth. We had lockdown for a little while. I did have my kids home for about 6 weeks, I think, all up. Things, they're not normal. I think they are whatever the new version of normal may be, or heading in that direction. They are not what they used to be. However, we are very, very lucky and not in lockdown or anything like that at the moment. So for that, I am grateful. The story that I'm documenting, though, is this happens to me every single time. I finally get a plan in my head, and I start doing the things to look after myself, you know, going for a walk and getting fit and all that kind of stuff. And then it's normally the school holidays, or something goes wrong, or I hurt my back, or, you know, something happens and I cannot follow through. In this instance, it was lockdown and I had my kids with me, and I was just like, oh my goodness, they can't keep up with me. What am I going to do? So we pulled out their bikes. In this particular photo, they are both still on training wheels on their bikes, but go my kids, they both learnt how to ride their bikes without training wheels during lockdown. So yay, my children. That's awesome. So I've stuck everything down that I had already decided on. So I've got my houses stuck down. One lot is up on foam. My photo is up on foam. My layers are behind my photo. Title is stuck down, and I'm onto the embellishing. I've added a sticker from the 6x12 sticker pack cardstock stickers down the bottom. It says Neighbourhood Walk, and then there's a puffy sticker in this. I have no idea. Something, and it's green with white words. I love these chipboard flair. They are so awesome. I've mentioned that before as well. I get 3 onto this page. I've got the family time, the blue one up the top on the left, the rainbow and the heart. I'm pretty sure the rainbow and the heart get switched around. But I'm just like, I just want to add things. So I just started picking pieces off the stickers, the ephemera, trying things out, testing them, seeing where I could get them in. And yeah, I just kept adding things in. I'm really happy with how this page came together in the end. So that puffy house on the right there, I'm going to move those puffy hearts over to the right, and then I get this really strong diagonal line from the photo top left to the bottom right of the page. Puffy flower sticker. I do try to get these other florals in, and I love them, and I don't know why I can't get them to work, but I just can't. That's okay. I'm going to move these things around again. I did add some foam behind, it says in this together, behind that puffy sticker. Actually, I think my heart stays there now that I've said that. I add the yellow sticker down there, the yellow cardstock sticker, and then this green label, which this is like the first of about 4 times that I pull out this little cluster here. So if you've never worked with Pink Fresh Studio product, their stuff is sticky. Like, their stickers stick. So if you ever are in this predicament, just be careful if you are lifting things again. I like the way all this is tucking together, but I'm like, something's not straight here. What have I done? Pull out my T-square ruler. And first I realised that my Neighbourhood Walk is not straight, so I'm going to straighten that up. Then I am going to straighten my label after I pull up that cardstock flare again. You can see how hard I'm trying to pull that up. Like the glue on Pinkfresh Studio stuff is awesome. It sticks. I'm really liking the way this is all layering together. This label ends up going up the top there with the date on it. I did try it in a couple of places, you know, a mil to the left, a mil to the right, but it does go right onto the background, I think. Nope, it goes in between my layers with the date on it. I just used a bit of glue because that is going in. That's why I thought I moved it, because I got the rainbow puffy sticker down here. I love it. I'm just adding a little bit of foam to a few pieces just so that I don't have anything falling. Now this piece may seem totally random. It's a hand with a dumbbell, and I feel like when I start to look after myself physically like this, I always feel stronger, and so that's why I wanted to include it. So yeah, this is the other half of the label that I used on the Mother's Day page that I created. What was that called? Love You, I think. So I kept the other half of that. I wanted to bring a bit of orange. I kind of looked at the colours that I've got, and I had no orange up the top here, and that says positive vibes. I'm going to come in with some enamel dots. And again, you can see I've got that yellow popping around this page as well. I really surprised myself with how much I really enjoyed this yellow, and incorporating it into pages. I've said it on every other one of my videos, so I am sorry, but it really makes everything else pop. I love it. So I'm adding in 3 clusters of enamel dots. I'm pretty sure I use the same 3 colours in all 3 clusters. Look, even their enamel dots stick really good. Not that I'm complaining. I am absolutely not complaining about that. It is awesome that Pinkfresh Studio makes stuff that sticks. And of course I have to work out exactly where my placement is going, because it has to be exactly right. I'm going to add my journaling to the bottom here, and I think it says something along the lines of, what better time to learn how to ride without training wheels than during a global pandemic and lockdown. I wanted to add a little bit of mixed media, so I have got that Smoky Slate Distress Oxide, smushed that onto my craft mat, and I'm just adding in some sprinkles. Chose the grey because I've also got grey as my journaling, and then I've used grey to stamp the date as well. Kept this bit in because if you don't know, you can use a damp baby wipe to clean mist and stuff off enamel dots and the acrylic things and the puffy stickers, all that kind of stuff. Here are my stills. I'm super happy with how this page came together. I think it's a little bit different to my quote normal style unquote, but I really like it. I'm really happy with this one. So like I said, this is my last share with the Pinkfresh Studio Let's Stay Home collection. I am lucky enough that I still have some extra bits. I did buy more because I had to have the things. What better time than a global pandemic to get something confidence on your bike. So there you go. As always, thanks for stopping by, and I will see you again for my next share. Have fun.